This is Twit.
The news from T-Mobile is all bad. Last week, T-Mobile confirmed their latest data breach, making it the fifth data breach in 4 years. They're going to have to start explaining to someone like what their problem is. There were two previous attacks in 2020, last year, one in 2019 and the first in 2018. But this most recent breach is the largest by far, and the numbers of affected customers keep growing. As they keep digging into this, what happened? First it was like, wait, we got breached? Who says? They didn't know, literally, until someone started selling the content on the dark web. The most recent update reveals that the cyber attack exposed over 54 million individuals' data. Last weekend, a threat actor began selling the personal information, claiming it was 100 million T-Mobile customers on a hacking forum he was asking 6 Bitcoin, which is about $280K right now, because as you commented recently, Leo, Bitcoin is coming back. I think it was on Sunday.
It's 50.
Coming back. It's creeping back up again, and I'm moaning about the 50 that I just said,
Don't think about it, Steve. Don't think about it. It's not a... So this is the text I got from T-Mobile. Unauthorized access to some of your personal data. We have no evidence, of course, they're morons, but we have no evidence that your debit credit card information was compromised. But we're going to give you, just in case, 3 years of credit monitoring. Free.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about what users should do in a second.
Yeah.
Hopefully all of our listeners have. So this hacker claimed that the stolen database contains the data for approximately 100 million T-Mobile customers. Now, here's the bad part. This is not one of those, they got the hashed password. No. The exposed data can include customers' IMSI, IMEI.
Oh, SI. What's that? IMSI. I know IMEI.
That's one of the other things.
Okay.
They're big crypto, strings of numbers. But you don't want anybody to have them because they could get up to mischief, like clone your SIMs and things. Phone numbers, customer names, security pins, social security numbers, driver's license numbers, and date of birth. And of course, names, right? So in other words, the keys to the identity theft kingdom.
Yeah.
The database was said to have been stolen approximately 3 weeks ago, apparently when T-Mobile was on vacation, and contains customer data dating back as far as 2004. In an interview with the hacker, which Lawrence Abrams of Bleeping Computer, he's the Bleeping Computer's founder, Lawrence Abrams had this interview, reported that the hacker said their entire IMEI history database going back to 2004 was stolen. So that's all of the basically the serial numbers of all the T-Mobile phones that they've had accounts for since 2004. Okay, and that was a year before the podcast. So 18 years of data that's been stolen. After the data first went up for sale, T-Mobile later confirmed, some of our servers have been hacked. What do you know? And began investigating what customer data had been exposed. Last Tuesday, on August 17th, T-Mobile first said that the personal information of 48.6 million individuals was exposed during the attack. They later updated that to include an additional 6 million customers, 6 million more, or prospective customers who are also affected by the attack. You don't even have to have signed on the dotted line. No, you just open a conversation with T-Mobile and your history. So T-Mobile also confirmed that the attackers stole their customers' IMSI and IMEI numbers. That was confirmed. Okay, so here's a breakdown. 13.1 million current T-Mobile postpaid customer accounts, as opposed to distinct from prepaid. So 13.1 million current T-Mobile postpaid customer accounts that included first and last names, date of birth, social security number, and driver's license/ID information. Bad. Bad, T-Mobile. Bad. 40 million former or prospective T-Mobile customers, including first and last names, date of birth, social security number, and driver's license/ID information. Okay, so a total of 53.1 with all of that. Basically, game over. 667,000 accounts of former T-Mobile customers exposing customer names, phone numbers, addresses, and dates of birth were compromised. 850,000 active T-Mobile prepaid customer names, phone numbers, and account PINs were exposed. So even if you're prepaid, you're still hosed. And finally, 52,000 names related to current Metro by T-Mobile accounts may have been included. So, yeah, count yourself in. Okay, so identity theft is one of those things that can really screw up one's life. You need to prove that it wasn't you who applied for and received credit under your name when the other person provided, the other person you're proving, some other mysterious, we don't know who, other person provided all of the personal information that only you are presumed to have. So, such cretins immediately run up massive charges under your name using and destroying your credit. There are tons of horror stories about the mess this has caused for people. I mean, it's ruined lives. And what's needed to apply for credit in someone else's name? Exactly the data that has just been exposed for tens of millions of T-Mobile customers because, guess what? That's what you provided to get credit from T-Mobile. They said, oh, yeah, this is what we know about people that convinced us to give them credit. Let's have it all sold on the dark web. Okay, so this is why the absolutely number one best advice I have, the advice I give to anyone and everyone, is to simply run with permanent locks on your accounts at all three of the credit reporting bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. I've had all three locked for me since I first had talked about this years ago during one of these identity theft events. This is easily done for someone who is not routinely applying for credit. Leo, those of us who have thinning hair.
It's easier for us, yeah.
It's easier for us.
Yeah, if you're getting credit cards, you have to unfreeze. If you're getting a car, you have to unfreeze.
Yeah, because you have to let those creditors check your credit.
And by the way, you have to give them your social security number, your driver's license, all of this stuff this is why T-Mobile has it, because they run credit checks before you can get a prepaid phone or a postpaid phone. Yeah.
And unfortunately, they don't wipe it, obviously. They just hold on to it.
Keep it. Why not?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly wouldn't want to secure it or anything.
Cloud storage is so cheap, maybe that'll be useful.
Ugh.
Okay, the good news is it has recently become easier for those who do need to occasionally unfreeze their credit worthiness.
More importantly, free, thanks to federal intervention.
Yes.
It used to be expensive.
A couple of years ago, I realized that I was losing money by not using an Amazon-branded credit card for my many purchases through Amazon, since they were providing a couple of points of discount for purchases made through their own card. Why would I not take advantage of that? So I had the occasion to need to lift the locks on my credit. What I discovered was that all three of the agencies now offer a convenient, free 10-day unlock with automatic relock. So I told them all to start the 10-day counter. I applied for the Amazon card, qualified through whichever one of the three agencies Amazon queried, and then all of them were automatically relocked. So it makes it so practical, with accounts locked this way, no would-be creditor is able to query for my credit, and thus no creditor would allow a thief to open a credit account under my name. So I'll just say it again. If you have not done it, if you are not continually needing for some reason to have creditors accessing your credit with those big three firms, then why not lock those agencies down? It's trivial to do, and it buys a lot of peace of mind.
Doing it right now. And it's free now, as we said, to freeze and unfreeze. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a fraud alert and there's a credit freeze. The credit freeze is what you want. Fraud alert,
actually,
you have to have fraud first.
There's a freeze and there's a lock. Though unfortunately, the jargon can be confusing. The freeze is temporary. The lock is permanent.
Oh.
So the lock is what you want.
Okay.
So I'm glad you brought it up, because you do need to read through that and look at what it is that they're doing. But mine are just permanently locked.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing is, when I was just looking at it yesterday, I'd forgotten that there are now iOS apps that allow you, after verifying you are who you are, to use the app to unlock your credit on a transient, temporary basis. So it really becomes quite a practical thing to do. Again, everybody, in my opinion, and I mean, unless you're, newlyweds buying all kinds of stuff and, cars and homes and things, just lock that stuff down. You want to protect your credit and not have it destroyed by somebody. I mean, look at all this mess that T-Mobile has just created for people. Oh, we're going to give you a 3 free year.
Oh, who cares? For McAfee, of all people. Jeez Louise.
Great.
Yeah, 2 years, by the way, not 3 years.
Endorsed by John himself.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's good.